Navigation Radio, where we talk about the future of an attraction about the past.
The fictional future.
Right.
In our brains.
An imagined future.
Yeah.
Of a historic past.
Uh-huh.
We're talking about the Hall of Presidents.
Well, we're talking about all of Liberty Square, right?
We're talking about all of Liberty Square. I feel like, well, the Haunted Mansion is staying, so I feel like what we would be majorly refurbing in this situation would be the Hall of Presidents.
Okay, yeah. I did definitely go out.
Elaborate.
Yes.
Yeah, that's smart. So yeah, we are rehabbing Liberty Square at large.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Okay. But yeah, you're right. If they only did one thing, it would be the Hall of Presidents.
Right. But yeah, it is definitely, even that, changing that in a major way, I do feel like would have a big impact on the feel of Liberty Square on its own.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to hear about the overall direction that you have chosen to imagine for Liberty Square, or is Liberty Square in your version of this being replaced? Is it something?
No, it's still there.
Still called Liberty Square?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Me too. So yeah, this Liberty Square feels like it needs change.
I mean, here's the thing. It's smaller, right? Like, don't you think it's probably the smallest land?
I do.
I also, I like it, but I think some people think that it's boring, like it's just Haunted Mansion.
Right.
And then you're walking to get somewhere else.
And Haunted Mansion and Liberty.
It doesn't even really go.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're basically, Liberty Square is just walking past the Hall of Presidents.
Yeah.
I
can't wait to share with you something I learned about Liberty Square that we will get into when we get into it, because I do want to start with that if you don't mind. Because I found it fascinating. And maybe some of you already know it, especially if you're someone lucky enough to have done a Keys to the Kingdom tour.
Oh, okay.
But Jake and I have not done that tour yet. This was something fun that I learned that I would like to share.
All right, stay tuned for that. I know I will, because, well, I'm recording the episode, but also because I'm really excited to hear whatever it is. Before we dive into all of our plans to fictitiously rehab this part of the park, we wanted to say thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of Neverland Navigation Radio. If you guys would like to help support the show, you can do that by subscribing wherever you listen, whether it be on Apple Music or Spotify or wherever you've managed to find our podcast. You can also help us by leaving a review. It helps with the discoverability of the show, but it is also super fun and a great experience for us to read your feedback and be able to interact with you. We love that part of this. It's very fun for us, so we definitely encourage you guys to take part in the discussion.
Yeah. That's so funny. I've seen that written so many times because we write it out, but I don't hear you say it very often.
I don't think we ever have said it out loud.
Yeah, it's hard. It's much easier to write it, and it makes sense because you're doing the DIS from Disney, right? Okay. Yeah. It's a little harder to make it come through audio.
I really had to hit the...
Yeah, that was fun, though. That was fun. Yeah. If you're thinking about taking a vacation anytime in the next bunch of years, or even if you've already booked a vacation in the last 6 months, but you haven't taken it yet and you haven't paid in full, then you could transfer to me. But I am a free-to-you travel agent, and I would love to help you plan your trip. I help with dining. I can call the resort if you have a request. I take care of all of this stuff for you, and it doesn't cost you anything. When you book a trip yourself, the price of the travel agent, your personal travel agent's commission, is baked into the price you're paying, whether you use a personal travel agent or not. So you might as well, otherwise they're just pocketing your extra money and not giving it back to you. And then as a thank you for letting me help plan your trip, or transferring your trip to saying that you have a travel agent and that I'm your travel agent, I give my clients free custom trip t-shirts or attraction posters as a thank you.
Yeah.
So big win-win for both of us. This is how I get paid. Obviously, this is my job. But for you, you get the help of a personal travel agent if you want it. If you already know what you're doing, I can not help. You know what I mean? I'll just be there if you need me. And you still get your free custom trip t-shirts or attraction posters.
Cha-ching.
Yeah, exactly. Free. Just free. All you have to do is email me at morgan@neverlandnavigation.com, and then we can talk about it through email, or I can give you my phone number, whatever works. But yeah, that is something I would love to do for you.
Yeah. All right, are you ready to put your imagination hat on?
Yes.
All right. What did you want to share about Liberty Square?
Okay. Well, okay. Yeah. Let me go from here. So, and maybe this is common knowledge, and okay, we'll see. I apologize if you guys already know this, but so when the Imagineers created Liberty Square and Frontierland, they created it in a way where if you start at Haunted Mansion, you're on the eastern seaboard, because the Haunted Mansion is designed like a house in the Northeast.
Yeah.
We do know that,
coastal,
right?
Yeah.
Yes. And then you travel to the end of Frontierland, you're all the way at the west. So you go from the coastal Haunted Mansion, and then you get in a little further, and you're in Philadelphia, just a little bit further in Philadelphia, where the bell is and all that. And then you go a little further. They named something else there in the middle. I can't remember. A little past that is where Tom Sawyer's Island and the riverboats, I'm going to say, were at this point, but you know what I mean?
Right.
That's the Mississippi area.
Oh.
When you cross over that little creek, that's supposed to signify you crossing the Mississippi.
What?
When you get to the Diamond Horseshoe?
Yeah.
We have Diamond, right?
Right.
When you get to Diamond Horseshoe, when they used to have the show, they would say that they're from Missouri, which has that's the gateway to Frontierland, which is funny because that restaurant is the gateway to Frontierland. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or to the frontier.
It's like the transition.
That's the
point.
transition. Yeah. The Diamond Horseshoe is considered Liberty Square, which is very weird. I think.
Very weird.
I very much think of it as Frontierland. But on the maps, it's Liberty Square.
Okay.
Yeah. So then you go a little further, and the Country Bear Jamboree is supposed to be a log cabin in Colorado. And then you go a little further, and the Thunder Mountain is like the Gold Rush, California section.
Yeah.
So they envisioned you traveling through America, going from the Haunted Mansion to essentially Thunder Mountain, which is just, I just love this stupid, crazy stuff.
I never knew.
I know. So
how cool.
Yeah, it's something that they explain to you, I guess, if you go on the Keys to the Kingdom tour.
All right.
And I really love that information. Somebody, I read an interview with an Imagineer that talked about that.
Yeah.
And then I wound up on Reddit reading what some people learned on the Keys to the Kingdom tour.
Cool.
And they were also saying that the different lands are supposed to represent different times in American history.
Yeah, okay.
And that is a little bit more obvious, I guess. But the whole thing, very interesting.
Yes, that is actually super fascinating.
Yeah.
It makes sense when you name it all out like that.
Yeah.
Like the Mississippi.
And I forgot a few. I just couldn't remember.
That's a lot.
I think Pecos Bills is supposed to be Arizona. I don't remember why.
Because it's like Tex-Mexy.
Yeah, Tex-Mexy. Okay, that makes sense.
It's Southwest.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Actually, when you say it, it makes sense, but I just never put it all together.
Why would you?
And I have walked that hundreds of times.
Right.
So funny.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I love learning stuff like that.
Yeah, I think we've talked about before how, and this is rumored, I don't know, I have never seen an Imagineer confirm this, although it does kind of make sense, that in Liberty Square, they made it so that there are no bathrooms because there were no bathrooms at the time.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, and the middle of the pavement is like a brown kind of river, and it's supposed to represent
sewage,
which doesn't feel very Disney, but also does because of the detail
Yes.
and the accuracy
I
that they
would
go
say
for.
the subtle nature of it almost does give Disney.
Yeah.
Because, it was true that people would toss that out their window in the day.
And that it would run down the streets.
And that it would run down the street. And Disney isn't showing
that. Nor pumping in the smell. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Don't need that level of realism. We have enough smell to contend with as it is.
Yeah.
But yes, just representing that fact of life in a kind of subtle thematic way.
Yeah.
Kind of makes sense to me.
I mean, when you think about how well they do the details, it does make sense in that way.
Yeah.
Accuracy.
Fascinating
like you said.
stuff.
They've always been good at that. So I just wanted to share that information since we're getting into Liberty Square. And so this idea came to us about, have we said yet? About
no.
Okay, well, about the intertwining of Liberty Square and Hamilton,
yes.
the Broadway musical, because a month or two ago, I'm not sure exactly how long it was at this point, Hamilton, the musical that they recorded for Disney Plus, was released in theaters.
Right.
And turns out it was a wild success, just like the Broadway has always been. You know what I mean? Just like everything that they've always done. I just was kind of mind blown. I can't remember how many millions of dollars they made on opening weekend for something that they didn't even do.
That they had already
done
released.
It was just a re-release.
Yeah. And they didn't put it on. They just filmed it.
Yeah.
So, and then it was already on Disney Plus, and for this, they just put it out in the movie theater.
Yes.
Talk about minimum possible investment.
Right, exactly. And they made so much money by doing this. And when I went to the theaters to see it, a lot of the people there were like dressed up in costume. And then I started talking to Jake about how big the fanfare is for this. I mean, we love this Broadway. We love it.
I think this Broadway musical will be one of the enduring pieces of our time, which I think the testament to that is that it debuted on Broadway in 2015. Here we are 10 years later, and we're still at like fever pitch pandemonium for the the musical.
And I would say the one before that would be Wicked.
Right.
That like had that strong of a continuous
cultural presence.
And of course there are a ton of others that came out before that, but maybe there were a bunch of big ones that have come out between Wicked and Hamilton, but these two are the ones that have gotten like so monumental that you kind of can't turn around without hearing about it.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
There's other Hallmark ones around that era, but I agree that those are like the real standout musicals of the modern era.
I mean, just like mega smash. You know what I mean?
Ubiquitous. Everybody knows.
Yes, exactly.
At least has
even
heard
non-Broadway people.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. 100%. That's exactly what I mean.
Yep.
And so we were talking about how we wished that since Disney owns the whatever
has partnered with the creators,
is obviously very fond of Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh yeah,
and they have this on Disney Plus. We were talking about how cool it would be to be in the parks.
Yeah,
and then this leads into how much we aren't fans of the Hall of Presidents as it stands. You know what I mean? And then we just kind of were talking about what if.
Right.
What if Hamilton took over Liberty Square? And that's where we're at.
And that's where we are.
Yeah.
And I know that some people may hear that and have a negative reaction. But I will say, it's not that we don't have respect for the concept of the Hall of Presidents, or that we don't have respect for how well executed the film about the history of the concept of the presidency is done.
Totally.
Or even that we don't respect the animatronic creation of all of those presidents on one stage at the same time. All of that actually very much appeals to us and our fascination with Disney history and the parks as a whole. We just have had some experiences with the Hall of Presidents that make it feel like it has taken on another life that was never intended by its creators.
Yes.
That has to do with politicization of history
Right.
and a negative atmosphere associated with division.
Yes.
Instead of with a united, which was intended by the attraction, a
Right.
united agreement and inspiration
Right.
from the concept of the presidency as a thing.
Yes, completely. I love the animatronics. I love the historical aspect of it. I won't even go in there anymore because it's so high drama.
Yeah.
Or it's at least at risk of being so high drama.
I've had experiences.
Yeah, same.
You know?
Same. And this isn't, you know, one way or the other. It's actually been like that over the past over a decade. So it's been on both sides. It's just whatever. There's booing, there's like animosity in there, there's tension,
occasional fighting.
Oh my gosh. So it just, that's not what Disney is to us.
Yep.
So yeah, we thought, what if it got to change? What if it got to change that wasn't, you know, polarizing?
Yes, and I believe that with the injection of the Hamilton intellectual property into this, not only will you still be able to retain the air of a historically informational attraction that does go into great detail about the founding fathers, about the way that the idea of the presidency was established.
Right.
In fact, there's an entire song about George Washington's decision to not seek re-election despite popular support in the country, and that had a huge influence on the later historical understanding of what a presidency would become.
That song explains it in such a powerful way.
Yes.
That especially, I mean, I just feel like, go on. Sorry.
No, yeah, exactly. One last time.
Yeah.
That song, which does contain just a complete quote of George Washington's resignation address.
Right.
It's such a powerful moment in the show because you see the leader that brought them through the revolution saying, yes, I could continue to lead you.
Right.
But the actual right thing to do for this country is to allow someone else to further our American legacy.
Yes.
And that is such a beautiful patriotic sentiment.
It makes you understand why it is the way that it is, and it's wonderful.
It's beautiful. It's moving. It allows you to appreciate the electoral process in such a big way. And I believe that stuff like that is actually a really valuable contribution to helping to inspire people to be engaged and interested by the political process in a way that I believe the Hall of Presidents has always attempted to pay homage to.
Yes, I agree. And so when Jake and I first met, we were teaching kids and
theater,
yeah. And these kids, like, if you're a Disney adult and you're thinking, oh, kids won't know this, could not be more wrong. These kids had every song memorized. Yeah. Like elementary age, middle school, high school kids, they knew every song from Hamilton. It was such a popular thing.
Exactly.
So, and I genuinely feel like they knew more about American history than people my age did at that age, for sure, maybe even now, because they were learning while being entertained by this musical. So, we think it has a place in the parks. Totally. And we think that it could make this section of Magic Kingdom more interesting.
Totally. A little bit. I think when you consider the amount of people who don't engage with the Hall of Presidents, and you think
that
about
whole area, I think a lot of people bypass that entire area except for Haunted Mansion and out.
And it's easy, I think, to see why. The colonial theme has an air of museum, you know,
that I've read that people feel that way.
Yeah, and although I don't agree with that because I'm excited by history,
same,
and stuff, and I think we kind of are in the target demographic of people who would be interested in that kind of presentation.
Yeah.
You can also see how it does not feel like something that would be constructed in a modern theme park in the way that it is now.
Yeah, it wouldn't. It just wouldn't. So yeah, bringing in something that's a little bit more interesting, that has such a giant and excited fan base, I think would be huge.
And the actual offering itself would be so compelling. It would be such to those songs. And I have an idea of which songs should be included, so we'll get into that perhaps later. But just having recognizable music in there, I think would be so much more of a draw than what is currently there. And I even think if when George Washington was giving his speech about presidency, if the scrim lifted up and you revealed all those presidents back there, still having the presidents back there, I think that would be
what
great.
What else would they do with it? Yeah.
I know. You got a whole stage full of presidents. You don't got to throw them out. We're talking about the founding fathers.
Yeah.
And the entire lobby situation where there are artifacts from founding fathers and there are kind of plaques explaining what you're looking at, this history behind glass boxes. I think all of that gets to stay.
Yeah, I do too.
Because Hamilton is just an expression of that truth of our history.
So are you imagining a live stage show?
I am.
Okay.
I think with the exception of, in my mind, it would make sense for them to keep the team of presidents back there at animatronic form, maybe like a dimly lit behind a scrim type of situation.
Sure.
With the exception of that moment, I think that Hamilton is an experience of live theater. It is an evocative performance art piece, and I think that it would translate really well as a condensed theme park presentation.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
I went in a little bit of a different direction because I was doing in the entirety of Liberty Square.
I'm so excited. Do
you want me to go ahead and...
Please, yeah, I'm so fascinated to hear.
So I am imagining a dinner theater at the Diamond Horseshoe with top songs by Hamilton.
Oh my gosh, love that.
Possibly the same kind of show, like maybe the exact same show you're imagining in the Hall of Presidents, but on stage at Diamond Horseshoe.
Cool.
As a dinner
separately
show.
Ticketed, or
I think
during park hours.
I think during park hours as like expensive, like like the Hoop-de-Doo.
Okay.
But in the park.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and like running during the day.
Yeah, like there you get a time.
Yeah, several showings a day.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I'm imagining. I think that it could be done in a different way where more like beer garden, where every 30 minutes people came out and did songs, you know what I mean?
Okay,
and then it was like just you get what you get kind of thing based on when you get there. That's how it works at beer garden if you haven't been there. And then if you like, I would say probably every 30 minutes the guys come out to do the music, and that lasts like 10 minutes.
I could really see that.
Yeah, that could work too, especially if this was in addition to them changing the Hall of Presidents. I had a little bit of a different thought on the Hall of Presidents, but we'll get there more at the end.
Awesome, yeah.
But yeah, we have talked about before how the Diamond Horseshoe is a complete waste of space right now.
Right.
It is set up to be a theater with dining, and you can see the stage from all the different spots. So it's really set up for a really good show.
Right.
And it is completely not being utilized right now. Yeah. I also would like them to change the menu, but I don't really know. I mean, it would have to still be in the colonial American vein. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or at least like an elevation of that.
Yeah.
Of that idea.
Yeah. Did you have any other thoughts throughout Liberty Square?
Well, I'll tell you what. I feel like that those windows where the Muppets used to come out and tell American history.
Yeah.
I have read, and I don't know how true this is, I have read that the Florida sun was not particularly kind to the puppets.
Oh, that's too bad.
Which is a sad situation. But I think that having in that spot some type of interactive thing about American history in general, was wonderful, added energy to the land, was a really interesting way
Agreed.
of presenting history in a not boring way.
Yeah.
And I think it's a waste to have nothing going on there.
Yes, I agree. If we were keeping the whole area kind of Hamilton themed, then my like vision for that would be a couple times a day the Schuyler Sisters song, which makes a lot of sense for being like in the streets, because that's the, if you listen to the lyrics, it makes sense. Being sang from like those windows might be a cool thing.
Yeah, I like that.
I didn't know about the heat though.
Yeah. Well, sure. But there is a lot.
But if we're talking one song,
and we would, in that context, we would be talking people,
yeah,
and not puppets,
right?
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of outdoor performers at Walt Disney World.
True.
So they'd be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I
like that. Fun.
I definitely think they should be doing more with the window performers.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah. I also have oh my gosh, I meant to write down the name of it. What's the name of that? The quick serve that it's a walk up over there?
A Liberty, Columbia Harbor House?
No, not Columbia Harbor House. I can't decide what to do with
the
that.
Fife and Drum?
Maybe.
Is that something?
Maybe. It's where you get the waffles and...
Yeah, that quick serve Liberty Square stand.
Columbia Harbor House, I was kind of racking my head around it because I don't know what to do there. Although I kind of think that having it, and the funny thing, not funny, but the thing about Hamilton is they didn't use any sets, you know what I mean? So there's not a lot to work off of visually.
Yeah, it's all like wooden beams and rope.
Yeah.
It's like, it has, honestly, the vibe of the Hamilton set is very similar to the vibe of Columbia Harbor House.
Yeah, well, and so I was imagining kind of transforming it just a touch to be what you kind of imagine the pub to be like when he's first meeting everybody, like right after he meets Aaron Burr and then goes in there and is singing the song I'm Not Giving Away My Shot.
Yeah.
It wouldn't change much though. I can't even think of what would really change other than maybe the name of the restaurant.
Yes, or like maybe the menu could have some fun like pun.
Well, the pun names is I was thinking might be better at that snack place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I wrote down some.
I can't wait.
They're silly.
That's okay.
They might be too silly.
I mean, it's a theme park, so it's okay for them to be a little silly.
Okay, so there's the hamburger.
Love.
Sir. 10
out of 10. Hamburger.
So for Hamilton and Burr, right?
Yes.
And then a ham sandwich.
Okay.
All right.
A ham sandwich. Love.
Never be fries.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The world turned upside down cake.
Oh my god, these are so good. Actually, I love them.
The rum where it happened punch.
Oh my gosh.
Are they doing alcohol? They are serving alcohol. Yeah, because they put that Pirates bar.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So they could I also think that they would need to, in Columbia Harbor House, popping back real quick, would need to serve like pints of beer because of the, in the colonial, what's it called?
Stein.
Yeah, Stein.
Yeah.
Anyway, the rum where it happened punch, which they could have
that one's really good.
They could have a alcoholic and non-alcoholic version.
Oh yes,
they do make non-alcoholic rum, so it is possible.
Zero.
And then a hurricane, which is what it is.
Smart. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love this.
So, and they could do these in addition to the theme park food that they serve there now. You know what I mean? Right now they serve the
tenders,
chicken and waffles,
nuggets.
Yeah.
Chicken and waffles. Oh, that's what it is. Chicken and
that's like their thing. And then a corn dog.
And the chicken and waffles doesn't even really make sense because that is like a southern thing and we're in colonial Northeast.
I don't think they put a lot of funnel cakes.
That kind of.
Does it? We don't. Do you know? Maybe it does. I don't know. I haven't looked up the history of funnel cakes.
You know what would feel more right? Like an apple pie tart.
I know. Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Even if you're gonna do a hot dog, like a Coney dog makes much more sense than like a corn dog, because Coney Island is in New York.
I don't feel like they put a lot of thought into the food matching the theme.
No, they just said we need a quick serve,
which is why I thought, well, since it's already hardly making sense, you might as well throw these pun things in there. You know what I mean?
At least that's more fun.
Yeah, more fun. Yeah. Exactly. Going with the theme.
That was really fun.
Yeah, and then I also just think there should be some walk around characters.
Yeah, the hear ye guy.
Yeah.
He would be great to have walking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, some walk around stuff I think would go a long way. They don't even really need to be like the named characters.
Probably shouldn't be.
Probably shouldn't, because that would attract too much of a crowd.
Right.
Create a traffic situation.
But I would love just some walk around characters in the correct kind of costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Hamilton also, I feel, sometimes leads into just a couple people beatboxing and banging on like boxes and tables. And I think just having a pop-up moment of that would be real fun.
Yeah.
I would love that. Almost like, you know how they have in Epcot, they have the Jammers?
Yeah.
Where they have just people banging on stuff, and that's the show. I feel like that would be fun, but it's just beatboxing and making beats on barrels and stuff.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, totally.
Some rap from the show in there.
Yeah. It's hard. I want the music everywhere because that's what it is. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, right now I'm thinking the restaurant for sure, and I can't really imagine. I guess like if you did it in whatever we would be calling Columbia Harbor House. Yeah. I don't think they named that pub they were in, right?
I don't think so.
But you could rename it.
You could probably figure out if there was a pub that some of those actual people in history frequented, and then you could name it that.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I will say, did you have an idea also for what you would do with the Hall of Presidents itself?
Yes. Okay, I'm going to go into this, but it might lead us down a different path, just a little.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so my thought of that was to have the Hall of Presidents have the Muppets doing Hamilton.
Oh my gosh. Love that.
So, this is all skewing the theme away from accuracy, but accuracy isn't drawing I feel like all of the parks are kind of going away from accuracy, because now we're about to have Cars Land right there. Right. Like where the Mark Twain or now it's about to be Cars Land. So I don't even I don't know if I'm that worried about it, but we're just playing here anyway. So yes, in my brain, since you could go see actors doing or performers doing the songs as they are in the Broadway, if you go to the dinner show, this would be like a more funny version where the Muppets are doing Hamilton. Right now, it's a fan project, right?
Yes.
Available online where you can see the Muppets doing Hamilton songs,
right?
Yeah,
they like recorded an album.
Yeah. So
fun.
Yes, fun. I think that it would be kind of like the Muppets doing American history, but doing Hamilton with the songs, but with some like jokes up in there, you know?
Yeah.
Not the whole 2-hour performance. It would have to be condensed.
I feel like this would be a fun show within a show, where Sam Eagle is like, all right, we're going to present American history, but like the Muppets put it together and they were like, you guys, I know how we could do it. We could do Hamilton. What about Hamilton?
Yeah.
And Sam Eagle's like, no, Hamilton is not real American history.
Lin-Manuel Miranda like on screen, like they do in like the Star Wars queue, or they've got Rey or whatever, and it's like they're talking. You know, like,
Mr. Manuel Miranda, could we please? Yeah. What do you think? And then he's like, yeah, and I'll even not charge you the royalties.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Yeah. I could totally see that. That would be so fun. You know I love the Muppets.
Yeah.
You know I love Broadway, specifically the musical Hamilton.
Yeah, I think Rizzo would have to be King George.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, okay.
Love that. Okay, and it's Kermit Hamilton then.
Of course.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. And that would make Peggy Who's Miss Piggy? Is Miss Piggy Peggy? I
Not
mean Peggy.
Peggy.
Eliza?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know that they could do the whole. Maybe it's just doing some songs.
Right. Okay. So they're like, it's like about American history, we're using the music of Hamilton or something. Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't really ironed it all out yet.
Yeah, that's okay. I can see the vision, specifically because there's already a fan project of a similar nature.
Yeah. Well, in the fan project, do you know who sang the Schuyler Sisters? Because I mean, yeah, there's 3 women.
I actually don't remember. That was a couple years ago now.
Yeah, I know.
So now I'm like, yeah, thinking about that. But I mean, they proved it can be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, proof of concept is all of the likes and comments on those YouTube videos.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if it was the Muppets doing American history and just one Hamilton song in there, I would be thrilled. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, because
use that IP.
Yeah, exactly, and people love it.
I love that idea.
Did you said you were thinking, you had thought if Hamilton didn't work out, there were other Muppety things that you thought?
That kind of was my thought for how to use the Muppets. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I just think that's such a great pairing of something that Disney sometimes has trouble knowing what to do with, which I think is the Muppets.
Yeah.
And one of Disney's most successful recent collaborations, which is their partnering with the producers of Hamilton to distribute it on Disney Plus and in movie theaters. I just think that's a really good match.
I do too. It brings a funny spin.
Absolutely. It's a much less serious take on politics than anything that's presented now.
Right.
I will say, I did have a different vision for what the Hall of Presidents could be if the Muppets were not involved, which would be more of like a show that is... Okay, so the Festival of the Lion King is like a festival pageant that uses the songs of the Lion King to kind of tell a different story.
Okay.
And I think that there could be room for a stage show using the music and concepts of Hamilton, not fully delving into the entire Broadway story of Hamilton.
Okay.
So I wouldn't want to get into the weeds of certain elements of the musical, including Hamilton's affair, the dueling.
Yeah.
Although the duel at the end, obviously, is a significant plot point.
And they do have dueling in... I was thinking about this too. Like, is this appropriate? Well, they do have it in Haunted Mansion.
And I don't think you necessarily need to represent the actual duel graphically. I think there's artistic interpretation that could be used to convey those concepts that is not graphic.
Yeah, and I do love those songs.
Right. So I feel like the climactic duel between Alexander Hamilton and Aaron Burr actually does teach us a lot about the themes of the show. So I do feel like that could be represented, but I feel like instead of getting into all of those specific details, focusing on who was Alexander Hamilton and doing that by starting with an abbreviated version of the title track, Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah.
Where there's narration in place of some lyrics and stuff to kind of move things along. Is a good explanation. You could do the Aaron Burr song, which is how they all meet. Do a little bit of My Shot, which I think is important.
Perfect.
And I think an important inclusion would be the song History Has Its Eyes on You.
Okay.
I feel like, first of all, that introduces George Washington, which would pay off later for one last time. And then it also, I feel like, is the thesis statement of why this would be replacing the Hall of Presidents.
Yeah.
Which is to be like a modernization of the concepts of history and to prove how those historical consequences kind of pay off in the modern era. I feel like it would be important to delve into the Revolutionary War. So I feel like doing Yorktown, the world turns upside down, would be an important situation, having like the musket thing kind of represented. And they do delve into that currently in the Hall of Presidents. This would just be a more exciting way to kind of do it.
Yeah.
A little bit of songs like Nonstop and The Room Where It Happens to have Aaron Burr be there. And also those are iconic signature moments.
Yes.
And then obviously One Last Time. And then the duel at the end, The World Is Wide Enough. and History Has Its Eyes on You, Who Lives, Who Dies, Who Tells Your Story. Little bits of those kind of in
That's
melody
a lot.
form. Yeah, I would definitely say this would be like chopping up pieces of this.
Yeah, okay.
And like a fast moving, maybe like 25 to 30 minute showing.
Yeah.
Which is similar to the current length. It would be like a big old history mashup.
Yeah, okay.
With like fun choreography like from the show and some narration in between to kind of like fill in some of the story gaps.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll notice here we don't get into Angelica and that whole subplot.
Right.
We don't get into Helpless and the romance of it all.
Right.
This is really Hamilton. A salute to Hamilton, but mostly just the history parts.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, that's good. That makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you're still hitting those songs that get stuck in your head and that people love. You know what I mean?
And it does leave opportunity for, if elsewhere you want to have an act where 3 women, female performers, go into the street to do the Schuyler Sisters.
Yes.
Or you want to have somebody on stage at one of the other venues do like a fun version of Helpless or whatever as like a solo singing act or a band or whatever. There are opportunities for those songs to be expressed in other venues while you keep just the history tracks kind of located within the show.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so I think that would be a good version where you can, it's like almost like Hamilton, the narrated concert type of situation.
Yeah, right.
In the colonial outfits. And obviously, if this were on the Hall of Presidents stage, you could utilize the Presidents during George Washington's song. Or if this were what ended up being in the Horseshoe, then this would be more of like a cast is playing all these different parts and it's like a bottle show.
Yeah.
I think that would also be it's like a cabaret version of Hamilton, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think just having that excitement of these musical numbers in those iconic like costumes, I think would be a much more interesting presentation of history than anything that we have now.
I like what you did where you're still getting this basic story out of it, where I couldn't figure out a way beyond doing like the best hits of Hamilton without telling the story at all. This is better. I like this.
It's just got a little bit of like, it tells you about the lives of the founding fathers still.
Yeah.
A bit, which I think is narratively important. And I think gives it a little bit more weight as something that would be like a meaningful replacement to the Hall of Presidents.
Yeah.
However, if we did want to go in the Muppet direction, I would not be mad, because I just think the Muppets they know the Muppets have a strong potential connection to the patriotic angle because of things like Regal Eagle Steakhouse and great moments in history with the Muppets.
Right.
Like, they know that works.
Yeah.
They can see how that works.
Yeah.
So I would be happy with that too.
I would too, yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, having an area that feels tense and where there's booing is it's just not okay anymore. So
You could have the Muppets.
Yeah, totally.
Or like a fun hip hop American history show.
Yeah.
Either would be so fun.
Right.
Yeah.
So much more interesting for kids too.
Agreed. A lot more engaging. A lot more likely to stick in the brain.
Right.
And like make you be interested.
Yeah.
Because there's very few things from the Hall of Presidents that I could quote to you.
No, I know.
And I have seen the show.
I think a lot of people
dozens of times.
Right. A lot of people think of that as a good nap spot.
Yeah. You're not napping through Hamilton or the Muppets.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or if you are, whatever, but
Yeah. At least we're not throwing away our shot. At least we're having like a chance at engaging these people.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So let us know. I would love for the people to weigh in on what they would feel, what a Hamilton themed IP application to Liberty Square in general would be, what they would be like. If people have other ideas, I would love to hear them. That sounds so fun. Yeah, because we aren't thinking, from what it sounds like, of like a shticky meet Alexander Hamilton type of situation.
No.
We're thinking of using the IP thoughtfully to elevate
except for on
land.
those punny food items that I came up with.
Yeah, but I think that's like a great chance for levity.
Yeah.
That's fun. I feel like meet and greet
I just think that quick serve over. It's not even a quick serve, is it? If you just go up and order from a,
it's like a
counter service.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, it's just kind of a waste over there. So I figured do something.
Yeah, let us know what you feel.
Yeah,
I'd
love to hear some comments.
Me too. Engage with us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, Neverland Navco.
Yes, we also have an Etsy shop called Neverland Navigation on Etsy. If you want a Hall of Presidents shirt or a Muppet shirt or whatever, send us a message. Go to Etsy, go to shop names Neverland Navigation, and hit send shop owner a message and let me know what kind of things you like. A lot of people will send us messages because they have a significant other or a family member that's got a birthday coming up and they want something that's their favorite. They just want their favorite ride or their favorite show or whatever represented, and that's something that we do a lot of, and we can do that on shirts, sweatshirts, dish towels, but the things we do are custom, so definitely send us a message.
Yes. All right, we're off to write Lin-Manuel Miranda with these ideas, like we're running out of time. So we'll see you on our next adventure. Goodbye.